Also, I'll mention if anybody that ends up watching this either on Twitch or on YouTube is thinking about getting on online poker. I did I want to say 6 or 8 weeks ago, like at least 2 months ago. I've got a few hands on this guy. I can kind of see how aggressive he is on the flop. Raise, c-bet. He hasn't raised the c-bets at all. But I'm getting pretty good odds here. I've got position, so I'll go ahead and call once and then see what he does on the turn. You know, obviously he's probably going to bet most of the time on the turn. Just depends how big he bets. That's pretty big. So don't have the odds to call. I'm getting, 34 to 17, which is kind of like, I don't know, 2-1 betting full pot. And that means I need to win about 30% of the time, but this hand's only about 20% to hit or something like that. I don't know. Rough numbers. Bottom line, don't have the odds to call, so I got to fold. So he made sure that I didn't have the odds to call with a straight draw. I'll definitely keep betting here with the tens. I mean, the king's not that scary. If he just flat called it. It's interesting. The guy limp re-raised. This is annoying. I'm getting really good odds. I'll just call. And I'm not gonna like get check raised on the flop or anything. I really just was calling to try and hit. He checks again. This is so strange. I think this guy might just be a fish, but this bet feels terrible. It's just frustrating when somebody checks. Yeah, so whatever. I'm going to make a note on this guy just because he's clearly, well, yeah, the note already indicates that he's a fish. But knowing that somebody's a fish doesn't tell you quite enough. So it's good to note that he's like, he's a tricky, trappy fish. That's all I put, is that he's kind of just like, yeah, he's gonna be like doing like check raising and weird stuff, all sorts of craziness. I don't. I'll have to look at that after. It's really really tough for me to remember. I don't calling the raise on table 5. So I called a raise on table 5 with 9-9. Yeah, it's really hard to look this stuff up 6 tabling. So I don't know. It was probably bad. But, oh, the other thing I was talking about before I got distracted with my hands and the poker games going on in the background was, is that a straight? That looks like a straight. Yeah, so like eight weeks ago, 2 months ago, I cashed out on Carbon Poker, and that money still hasn't gotten here. It's been 2 months. It wasn't that much money either. It was like $150 or $200, maybe even less. It might have been like 75. It was the site I started my bankroll challenge on, and I cashed out because they stopped doing rakeback, and they still have rakeback. They still have a rakeback program, but you have to put in a little bit of volume to be consistent with it, and that's kind of tough for me because I'd like to be able to play on different sites, bounce around, show people different software, as much as a US player can, which is kind of limited. But that's yeah, that's the status with my Carbon cash out. I'm gonna cash out a little bit of money on Juicy Stakes here shortly. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll put it in today. I'll try to cash out just like $200 or $150 just to so I can kind of do a better review of the sites, because I haven't done any website reviews on my website because I haven't done cash outs. So I've heard that the Juicy Stakes cash outs are pretty tough for US players, like they're pretty brutal. So I don't know, we'll see. I know this Carbon Poker cash out's pretty bad. The Juicy Stakes ones are rumored to be pretty bad, and the Bovada ones are rumored to be decent. So if, you know, I don't know, if getting your money back is important to you, then that might be, you know, some interesting stuff to find out. So maybe I'll do a cash out on all three. Well, I've already done the Carbon one, and I cashed out 100% on my account, I think. So, yeah, that is what it is. Feels like I've just been folding hands. Yeah, yeah, Rello's answer is, yeah, I would agree with that completely. As far as, and I've played all three, like, at different times, like, I've been very hardcore into heads-up sit-and-goes, into hyper-turbo sit-and-goes, into multi-table cash tournament, or multi-table, oh god, multi-table tournaments. This is why you don't play poker when you're sick. You know, even with cash games, it's like, yes, heads up cash games, if you're a winner, a good player, have the anytime anybody talks about win rates, first of all, they're talking about like highest attainable win rate. You know, and what that means is they're talking about, you know, the best players can make this much, because if you're not good, it doesn't matter what game it is, you're going to lose money. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. This guy looks pretty good. Just by his stats, 22, 18, and 13 point. It's going to be higher after this hand, but his 3-bet's pretty high. Seems like a pretty, like, decent regular. So when, you know, like when Rello's saying that, yeah, you get the highest win rates at MTT as well, he's saying that, you know, multi-table tournament players can attain higher win rates than, say, full ring cash players. Like, they can attain higher hourly rates in theory for similar buy-in levels. But again, it depends on what you're better at. So, like, for me, I did pretty good at sit-and-goes. I've done very well playing heads up. That's where my highest win rate's been. But, you know, no matter, the higher the win rate that's attainable in general, consider that that's where the higher variance is. So you're going to have higher win rates in higher variance games. I mean, that's just the essence of, you know, gambling. That's the essence. That's how it works. The more risk you take, the bigger the reward. You know, think about roulette odds. Like, obviously picking the numbers, the highest risk, it's the hardest one to do, but you win the most money for your bet, if that makes sense. So multi-table tournaments, which I've played and done very well at, I've only had one 5-figure cash, but I've had multiple 4-figure cashes. So I've got some pretty decent multi-table cashes under my belt. And the thing is that if you go and pull up one of the databases, and I've done this, you know, multiple times when I was playing, it's kind of gross how much money tournament players spend on registering for tournaments. You know, you really only hear about the ones they win, and you kind of see like, oh wow, they've got, you know, $300,000 worth of winnings, but they've entered $150,000 in buy-ins, and they've gone 35 tournaments without a cash. You know, and these are $200 to $1,000 tournaments. So I mean, think about that. in terms of like the variance that you're willing to accept, are you willing to go 2 months without having a single cash in a multi-table tournament? Now, that's not going to happen if you're playing like 45-man sit and goes or 180-man sit and goes on stars or things like that. But it's, Rel is absolutely right when he says MTTs like have very, very high variance, whereas full ring cash games, very low variance. If you play full ring cash games and you're good and you play them all the time for 4 or 6 hours a day, there's a good chance that you'll never have a losing week, or at least maybe never have a losing month. There are plenty of full ring cash players that have pretty much gone their, most of their career without having a losing month, because it's just hard to do if you put in the volume, and if you're playing full ring or you're playing, this might have been bad. This guy's pretty tight. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. It's like hard to be like, oh, it's bad because he had jacks. I mean, he could just as easily have had ace queen there, I'm sure. So whatever. But he is kind of tight over 130 hands. Oh, Shark just texted me, and he wants to come on, so let's give him a call. I didn't think he was, necessarily going to be, oh, Skype stopped working. Perfect. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. It did the thing where Skype stopped working, and then it went gray, but it still called him. And he just answered. Shark, you there? You know that thing where I called you and Skype stopped working, but it was still like there? It happened like a while ago. It just happened again because I'm in the middle of live streaming. No, I didn't know that you were looking to do the show or anything. I can barely hear you. Well, not last week. Alright, so I just turned on Shark's sound.
Hey everyone, sorry that I'm late.
That's okay. I started the show. Well, we're not doing the show today. I'm just doing a live stream with some games.
Are you there?
What's that?
I said, how is the show going?
It's not really the show. I'm just doing a live stream, six tabling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You doing 6 tabling?
Yeah.
You probably get do a lot more people watch when you get like more tables. I bet you it's probably more. People probably enjoy it more, right? Or no?
I got 4 people watching.
You don't get any comment. The thing is, you don't get as good a commentary, but it's a lot more action. You know?
Yeah, your audio's skipping in and out.
Is it lag or is it like my microphone settings? You think?
I don't know. I think it might be Skype. Let me try to shut Skype down real quick.
Check. Yeah, it seems to be working fine with my audio settings.
Yeah, I think it's just that weird thing that happens when Skype starts and it's messed up.
You want to reboot it?
No, let's
I just want to let you know that I'm having a ball. I've been having a ball playing. Just been getting a lot of good games in. Yeah.
What game are you talking about?
Just not worried about the type of game. Just, enjoyment of the game.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm only gonna stream for about another 15 or 20 minutes, so let me finish this up and then I'll call you back and we can chat. So so yeah, it's just if you listen on Twitch, you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about, but it's like it's like it almost sounds like the mic cord's pulling in and out, and I'm pretty sure it's just because Skype is messed up. But all right, well maybe we'll try to do a good official Squeeze Play show next week.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call you back in a little bit.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, let me turn off the ambient sound real quick. Sorry. You're gonna hear those beeps. Man, I'm getting 3-bet all over the place. You guys are crazy. All right, the 6230 guy, I'm just gonna shove on him. And I guess I'll fold there. And I guess I'll fold there. What happened here? Did I win that? No. What happened? Oh, this guy. Oh, nice. I sucked out on him. Perfect. Right, yeah, the yeah, again, it's absolutely like a more, I guess, simple, that's why I think it's easier to learn. It's like playing, you know, short stacked in cash games. It's easier to play post flop because the stack to pot ratio is shorter, and stack to pot ratios generally not favor, but take away skill advantage. If you flop top pair and you're 20 big blinds deep, the decision is really easy to go all in. You know, your risk reward is really high. Like there's, you know, the chance you have the best hand is pretty good, and you're not risking that much compared to the size of the pot. You're getting a good value for your money. You know, you're getting good odds on your bet essentially. Whereas if you're 200 big blinds deep and you've got top pair and you need to make a decision for 200 big blinds, well, you know, you're not getting quite as good a deal. You know, you're not getting quite as good a price on your wager. Yes, that's a lot of what it comes down to. Huh, this is interesting because 10s, jacks are kind of what I had beat there, and the jack comes, but I've got the clubs, and I'm just not really gonna fold here a lot. And not folding has been working out really well today, so why stop now? God, a shove here would be so gross. Blah. Puke. I mean, I guess I could like call here and somehow fold if a club doesn't come, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna call. It's not a great situation at all, but I mean, I can't really fold. Oh, perfect. Easy enough, right? Oh, felt like I psyched myself out a little bit on that hand. What do you guys think of that one? That one, I'm excited to see what you think. Maybe I was being a little too scared. Maybe you thought that, I mean, kind of sounds silly when I say it now, like, oh no, what if he, you know, turned a set of jacks? Like, well, that doesn't happen that often, right? It seems like crazy talk. Is my audio skipping right now? Or was it... hold on, let me listen. Okay, I think the audio might be good now that Shark's not on. So, what's going on here? This guy seems pretty aggressive. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just call, I guess. I don't really know what we're doing here. I guess we're calling with ace king. I mean, it seems like the thing to do. 7, 8, 9, jack, clubs, bet. Man, I feel unorganized. So, yeah, the audio was a little weird when Shark was on here. I think it should be better now, but I guess we'll see. Kind of weird pot size here. I guess because it's a half stack game, but he calls when we have the flush, so that's good. We had lots of outs, so. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, well, I'm not sure what to, wow, this might have, yeah, whatever. Oh. Easy game, right? I have a feeling my equity is gonna be really bad this game. So yeah, I apologize. Let me just make sure that it's. I mean, my mic's plugged in right and everything else. So I'll look into it after the show here in a few minutes. I'm gonna be putting a video out, so I'm sure I'll play with the audio a lot when I make the video. But yeah, I'm not sure why it would be skipping at all. Wow. Bitrate's pretty high. The only thing I can think of is I changed around like some of the streaming buffer settings, which I think maybe why the delay is higher than it used to be. Like my delay has gotten. I put a buffer in, and I think what it does is it buffers it for a while, and maybe that's messing up the audio. So I'll look into that and see if maybe that's causing issues, because I never used to do that, and I never used to really have any problems. I was trying to see if I could stream a actual game. Like I was trying to see if I could actually stream a PC game, and with my my optimal 1 megabit upload, which I can't. So I can probably change things back, and it might increase the quality of the stream. Because even looking at the stream right now, like the quality isn't as good as I've seen it before. What do you guys think? Do you think the quality looks a little bit? It looks like a little bit grainy for me. So it may be my XSplit settings causing some of that. Yeah, I mean, the hand that, and I'm sorry if you guys don't like hearing this, I'm watching a hand that I played like 2 minutes ago, 2 or 3 minutes ago. So the buffer appears to be like adding to the delay of the game pretty significantly, which makes it hard when you guys say like, oh, what about this hand? Usually that hand was 30 seconds ago. And now it's like 2 minutes ago, so it's making it a little bit tougher for me to comment on it. So, oh well. Hopefully it comes out all right in the end. We'll see. But it's my first stream back in a few weeks, so probably not going to be perfect. And my playing is definitely not perfect, so we'll I'll just fold these sevens. Queen 10, I mean, I don't really have it. I've got 2 overcards here. I don't really want to go. Like when I have just bare overcards, nothing backdoor, no, that's my check fold range. I've pretty much looked at, I've in pretty much analyzing this stuff with Card Runners EV, things like that, I've pretty much realized that you can bet a lot of hands on the flop, you can bet a lot of hands on the turn, but you really do have to kind of suck it up and accept that you need to have a checking range when you do that. And your checking range can kind of be complete air. It works pretty well. This is kind of a weird spot. This guy really doesn't ever 3-bet, so there's really not a lot of value in re-raising. Although Ace-King's been doing pretty well for me on that table. And I'll just fold here. I don't really know what that guy's doing. Not only that, but I'm going to wrap this session up kind of in a little bit here. So I don't want to have a huge hand at the end of the session. I don't think I really want to review the session stats. Whoa, I made money this session. Sweet. But I felt like it was a pretty poorly played session, especially if I look at my red line. I know it's going to be terrible. I'll show it to you guys because that's what we do, right? So I'll finish up a few hands here and then I'll just show it to you. What happened here? What did I do? Let me, no. Okay. Bam. Nice 3-bet opportunity. So yeah, those few big hands actually put me into winning, but it's interesting. My red line is this slow, steady. Yeah. That's. Oh, you know what? That's a good title for this video. Rounder crushes the coin flips. That's what I'm. Good thing you didn't trademark that, EWK. That is what I'm going to name this video. So yeah, I ended up, I'm like up like $31 right now. My EV's down like 30 bucks. So, and my red line is just this slow, kind of gross, no offense to any people who have very similar charts, but the kind of typical low stakes regular, small stake, micro stakes regular, where the red line just sort of trickles down the entire span of the session. So that's probably a combination of things. One of the, biggest factors is probably the 6 tables that I'm playing. It's weird, the table sizes aren't adjusting kind of the same. How much is this guy raising? It's more than a min raise, but I mean, I've got 6s, so I flop sets. If you didn't know, that's what I do. Actually, this is the 3rd set I've flopped this session, right? And I lost the first 2, so maybe he's got like pocket 10s. He's only got 16 bucks behind, so it shouldn't be that hard to get it in by the river. And if he has like clubs, I mean, that seems like bad logic to hope he's got like a flush. But I don't know. We might still be able to get it all in here. Obviously, that's not, a good sign. I don't know. Not sure what he has here, but certainly bet. And what he called? Oh my gosh, that's... How does he not bet the turn? Like, come on. What is he putting me on that he's folding the turn there? I don't really like that. Okay, I'm going to sit out on this table since I just accidentally sat out. Let me go around, sit out on these tables. And then the end of this video is really just for those people that kind of want to see the results graph. I'll pull that up here in a second. What's... Huh. It's almost, I guess there's like an open broadcaster that maybe is good. I don't know. I'll probably check it out. I've checked out most of the other ones.